A motorcyclist in Pakistan captures the moment armed robbers block a desert highway with AK-47. A safari group gets too close to wild elephants in Zimbabwe and nearly gets their vehicle flipped. Campers in the Mojave Desert discover what appears to be a shallow grave with blood-soaked clothing nearby. What you're about to see are 6 encounters in desert locations where isolation turns dangerous and there's nowhere to run. No exaggeration, just the footage and what happened next. This is what deserts hide. Encounter number 1. Armed desert ambush. Karachi, Pakistan. Desert highway leading to Kurtar. Humza Hashmi is riding his motorcycle on what appears to be an empty road. Everything seems normal until he spots people stopped ahead on the shoulder. As he gets closer, something makes his heart race. Multiple men suddenly jump from their motorbike directly into his path. He tries accelerating past them, but one of them raises an AK-47. The choice is simple: stop or get shot. He stops. The armed men force him off his bike, demanding everything: phone, wallet, the bike itself. Behind him, a group of bikers approaches. The robbers stop them too, but one manages to escape. Humza cooperates completely, handing over his belongings. The entire encounter lasts maybe 3 minutes. Then the armed men disappear back into the desert as quickly as they appeared. Humza lost his possessions, but kept his life. This is why some people avoid remote desert roads entirely. The isolation that makes deserts beautiful also makes them perfect for ambush. Encounter number 2. Elephant attack. Hwanje, Zimbabwe. A safari group observes elephants from what they believe is a safe distance. They're wrong. A group of elephants stands near the road, clearly visible but seemingly calm. The safari vehicle approaches slowly, too slowly to retreat. One elephant, a large bull, doesn't appreciate the intrusion. Without warning, he charges. The massive animal reaches the vehicle in seconds. Tusks aim directly at the hood. He lifts the front of the safari truck into the air with his tusks and head, nearly flipping it completely. Passengers scream as the vehicle tilts at a dangerous angle. The elephant holds it there for several seconds, a clear message: leave. Then he drops it and steps back. The driver immediately reverses, putting distance between the vehicle and the herd. Everyone inside is shaken but unharmed. The elephant's message was received. Here's what people don't understand about elephants. They're not just large, they're intelligent and territorial. If you have a gun, shooting an elephant doesn't guarantee your safety. Even mortally wounded, an elephant can charge and crush you before succumbing to injuries. The best defense is distance and respect. They're in their home. You're the intruder. Encounter number 3. Lion siege. Impholozi Pan, South Africa. A couple known as Buffalo Overlander is camping in their Land Rover when something appears that forces them to freeze completely. They're experienced overlanders, having driven through Africa, Asia, and Europe. But experience doesn't eliminate danger. They're sitting outside their vehicle enjoying the evening when a lion walks into their campsite. Not prowling, just walking casually as if the humans aren't even there. The couple remains absolutely still. Any sudden movement could trigger a chase response. The lion passes within feet of them, close enough to hear it breathing. It inspects their camp, sniffing around buckets and equipment. The couple doesn't move, doesn't speak, just watches. The lion eventually moves farther away, and they use the opportunity to quietly slip into their truck. But the encounter isn't over. The lion returns with 2 others. Now 3 lions are wandering through their campsite, lying in the shade, completely relaxed. The couple is trapped inside their vehicle in the desert heat. Hours pass. The lions show no interest in leaving. They've claimed this spot as their own. The couple sits in sweltering heat, waiting. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the lions wander off. The couple emerges, shaken and drenched in sweat, but alive. They even celebrate with beer afterward, joking about being held hostage in their own camp. This is how experienced people handle wildlife encounters. Stay calm, don't challenge the animal, and wait it out. Panic gets you killed. Encounter number 4. Hostile strangers. Remote desert location, United States. A man named Matty who lives the van life is camping in an isolated spot with friends when someone appears and the situation escalates rapidly. They've chosen a remote desert area specifically for the isolation. Then a black pickup truck appears. The driver doesn't slow down or wave. He drives straight to their campsite and starts doing donuts, kicking up massive clouds of dust that engulf everything. For a full minute, he circles their camp, creating chaos. Then he drives away. Matty and his friends are confused, but try to brush it off. Maybe the guy was drunk or high. But then the truck comes back. This time the driver gets out and the campers confront him about the dust and dangerous driving. The conversation gets heated. The driver doesn't apologize, doesn't explain, just stares at them. Then he leaves again. Matty thinks it's over. It's not. The truck returns a third time, but now the driver isn't alone. He's brought friends, multiple vehicles. The group starts swarming the campers, acting aggressive, making threats. Some appear to have weapons. Maddie makes a decision: pack up and leave immediately. They're outnumbered. The other group is acting like they're armed. Even if Maddie's group had weapons, a shootout over a campsite isn't worth anyone's life. They pack quickly and drive to a different location. It feels like defeat, but it's actually survival. De-escalation and retreat prevented a potentially lethal confrontation. This is the correct response when threatened in isolated areas. Remove yourself from the situation before violence becomes inevitable. Encounter number 5, the desert crime scene. Las Vegas Desert, Nevada. A man exploring remote desert areas using Google Earth finds multiple locations with strange features. At one site, he discovers something disturbing that he believes might be a crime scene. He's investigating Google Earth anomalies, driving to coordinates that show unusual ground features. Most turn out to be old mining equipment or natural formations. Then he arrives at one particular spot, a rectangular area of disturbed earth, rocks stacked nearby and a small monument. It looks like someone dug a shallow grave. Near the disturbed earth, he finds a gator skin belt, then bloodied jeans, then an old jacket covered in dark stains. The jeans are saturated with what appears to be dried blood. The belt, the clothing, and the grave-like disturbance are all within feet of each other. He films everything and asks viewers whether he should report it to police. The desert is a known dumping ground for bodies. A San Bernardino County sheriff once said, "If every corpse buried out here stood up, this place would look like a forest." The man eventually leaves without calling authorities, uncertain whether he's overreacting. But the evidence is compelling. Disturbed earth in a grave shape, a rock marker, blood-soaked clothing, and a belt nearby. This combination doesn't happen by accident. Whether it's an old crime scene from decades ago or something recent, it deserves investigation. The desert hides secrets because isolation means fewer witnesses and less frequent discovery. Encounter number 6, the Utah monolith. Utah desert near Moab, November 2020. A group of hikers exploring remote areas stumbles upon something that sparks global conspiracy theories and remains unexplained to this day. They're hiking through barren desert terrain when one of them spots something metallic reflecting sunlight. They approach cautiously. Standing in the red desert sand is a smooth metal monolith approximately 10 feet tall. No markings, no writing, no obvious purpose. It's planted firmly in the ground, clearly placed there intentionally by someone with equipment capable of installing it in this remote location. The hikers are baffled. How did it get here? Who put it there? Why? The structure is too heavy to have been carried by hand. The location is miles from any road. Installing it would have required significant effort and planning. They photograph it extensively and post images online. The Utah monolith goes viral. Theories explode across social media. Alien artifact in. Secret government experiment. Art installation. Portal to another dimension. Authorities investigate but never identify who installed it or why. Just 10 days after discovery, the monolith disappears. A group concerned about environmental damage from tourist crowds removes it. But the mystery remains. Who built it? How did they transport and install a heavy metal structure in such a remote location without being noticed? What was its purpose? No satisfactory explanation has ever been provided. The desert had concealed it for years, possibly decades, until hikers randomly stumbled upon it. How many other unexplained installations exist in remote desert locations, still undiscovered? 6 encounters, 6 different scenarios where desert isolation became dangerous. Armed robbery on a Pakistani highway where escape was impossible. An elephant nearly flipping a safari vehicle because tourists got too close. Lions trapping campers in their vehicle for hours in sweltering heat. Aggressive strangers forcing campers to abandon their site to avoid violence. A possible crime scene with blood-soaked clothing near disturbed earth. And an unexplained metal structure that sparked global conspiracy theories before vanishing. The desert isn't empty, it's just isolated. And that isolation creates situations where help is far away, witnesses don't exist, and danger can appear without warning. Whether it's wildlife, criminals, hostile strangers, or unexplained phenomena, the common thread is distance from safety. If you venture into deserts, understand the risks. Carry communication devices. Travel in groups when possible. Respect wildlife and give them space. If something feels wrong, trust your instincts and leave. The desert doesn't forgive mistakes. Subscribe for more documented encounters that show what happens when isolation meets danger. Thanks for watching.